Welcome back to the Rules of Language Learning. My name is Olly Richards. It is my belief, ladies and gentlemen, that the internet is making us dumber. That's right, the internet, that treasure trove of knowledge at your fingertips. It's undoing generations of progress in humankind. And I'm not just talking about social media, which by all accounts is ruining the very fibre of civilization. I'm talking about the internet itself, the whole internet. You see, since the internet has come about, we've become used to instant access to knowledge and information. If you want to know the population density of Tokyo, the effect of Adam Smith's economic theories on the Industrial Revolution, the ideal water to milk ratio in a cup of builder's tea, just type it into Google and you've got your answers. Wonderful, right? Surely more knowledge is a good thing. Well, the problem is that we don't have to remember anything anymore. Your aunt's phone number, your friend's birthdays. If you can find anything with a quick search on your phone, well, what's the point of memorizing anything or learning anything? And what do you think happens to your brain when you stop using it? I'm sure I don't need to spell that out for you. I am curious though, how many phone numbers, for example, do you know from memory? Type the number in a comment below. I want to see how many you know. Now, one other thing that's come along with the rise of the internet is a phenomenon called the life hacking movement. The idea that anything and everything can be optimized with a trick or a shortcut of some kind. Weird tweaks to your workout routine for optimal muscle growth, for example. Funny sleeping positions for optimal sleep. Everything is optimal. And along with the idea that all the information you could ever need is out there somewhere, the internet gives people the false belief that there is a hack or a shortcut to everything. Everything can be sped up and optimized to the moon. Now, here's the thing with this stuff. A lot of these so-called hacks, well, they actually work. They do. But there's something very important that you have to remember. Hacks and shortcuts, they only work when you already have all of the basics in place to begin with. Hacks can add small increases to something that you're already doing, small improvements, but they can't fix something that you're already doing wrong. Here's an example. I remember seeing a fitness video on YouTube where the guy was talking about how if you want to lose weight, then you should never eat bananas. Why? Well, because bananas, they're high in carbs and they're quite sugary. And if you eat bananas, you'll increase your overall caloric intake and that will make it harder to lose weight. Okay? So, does that mean that you should pay attention to this guy and stop eating bananas? Well, here's the thing. Objectively, this guy's not wrong. All other things being equal, if you are currently stuffing your face with bananas and then you suddenly stop stuffing your face with bananas, yeah, you're going to lose weight. You will. But for most people, stopping eating bananas is probably number 164 on the list of things that they should do to lose weight. And this is important because on any kind of list of priorities, it's the top one or two things right at the top of that list that are usually more important than everything else on that list put together. For the person who wants to lose weight, I have a suggestion. Just stop eating sugary food and drink. That's one thing you can do. Just cut out sugar from your diet. And I promise that you can buy up every banana in Sainsbury's, eat the lot, and you will still lose tons of weight because in this case, cutting out sugary food and drink makes the big difference. It's what I call a big domino. You push over that big domino and then everything else starts to fall around it. It's a beautiful thing, and you just do one thing and then everything gets easier. But there are so many options and so much advice out there that you can't possibly do it all. Your only hope is to cut out the noise and start to prioritize. Whatever stage you're at, in whatever you're learning, I can guarantee that there's always one thing you can do that will have a disproportionately massive effect on the results you're getting, far bigger than anything else that you could even think of. So, stop thinking about bananas, okay? The only time you should ever bother thinking about tinkering with your banana intake is once you've knocked over every single big domino that there is. Now, let's tie this into language learning. The key to speaking your new language better most likely lies in one or two big dominoes that need pushing over before you start to worry about these metaphorical bananas, okay? So, for example, I meet a lot of people who complain about their vocabulary. I don't know enough words. So what do? Well, they spend hours messing around on Duolingo or something, and they kind of hope that it works. Or at least it entertains them for a few minutes. And you know, that's fine. But instead, if all that you did was start to read, let's say that all you did was read in your target language for 30 minutes every day. That's the only thing you did. Your vocabulary would go through the roof. There's no point messing around with silly apps and other language learning hacks until you're getting quality input in the first place. That input is the big thing that you need to start learning more vocabulary. So, do yourself a favour, grab yourself a copy of my short stories, available in fine bookshops everywhere, and spend 30 minutes a day just enjoying reading. It doesn't have to be this, it can be anything. You can forget about doing everything else that you're doing in your language learning, including bananas. In this case, the simple activity of reading, it's your big domino. Now, one thing you'll notice about these big dominoes is that they can often seem like a lot of hard work. All right, and this is especially true if your language learning habits tend to fall onto the kind of quick and easy end of the spectrum. It can be quite tiring to work your way through a book when you're falling asleep on the sofa. So you might have to start experimenting with your language routines and doing these slightly more intensive activities at a time of day when you can really focus and concentrate. But one of the things that I've noticed about really successful language learners is that they are very, very good at focusing on the small number of big activities that really drive them forward. If it looks too easy, or if it feels too easy, or if it feels like a shortcut in any way, then it's probably not going to change your life. If you're searching for the secret sauce to learning a new language, then firstly, subscribe to this channel, great tips every week. And secondly, start to look for big dominoes, not new gimmicks. Thanks for checking out the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did enjoy it and you'd like me to continue this series of the rules of language learning, then you can let me know by liking this video. Also, if you'd like to be notified when I upload new videos every week, then you can subscribe to the channel using the big red button below, and the videos will pop right up in your news feed.